Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Disabled Reviewer. Now I'm sure you're all aware we had a pretty crazy year. We're currently in restrictions with lockdown and things. Now I just want to tell you that future reviews are going to include a road trip. So you'll be travelling from one destination to a well-known popular destination. Now today we're going to be reviewing the brand new Toyota Corolla in denim blue, and we're going to be driving to the Brecon Beacons. Okay, so I want to cover a few things on the outside. The first thing is the boot, which I think is absolutely brilliant. As you can see, it's massive. So this does fit my chain hole with the parcel shelf, which is always a bonus because I like that. We're going to come down to the sides then and cover the gap of the back door. Now you'll see it is quite a narrow space. Now someone like me, I would struggle personally to get in there, but then again other people may not. Then we're going to come round to the front. Now this has got a much bigger gap than what the back has. And I find it very easy to transfer in both the passenger and the driver's seat. Okay, so now we're going to cover the transfer. You'll see first of all it's a decent sized gap. It's very easy for me to get in, so now I'm going to show you. And we're in. So as you can see on the transfer in, it was pretty simple. I do think that once you've done that a couple of times you'll kind of get used to transferring. It was a lot easier than other cars that I've transferred into. So overall, yeah, I thought it was a pretty good transfer. Okay, so I want to cover a couple of things first of all. The first thing I really want to cover is the fact that this car is also a hybrid. It's a 1.8 petrol. Now I absolutely love a hybrid. As being a disabled person, for me, if I want to fill it with fuel, it's quite difficult to arrange that because I've got to get someone to fill it up for me. But with this, I find that you go into the petrol station a lot less, especially if you're driving around town, because it uses the petrol engine and the electric motor to kind of keep you going and uses less fuel, which is always great. So I do want to also look at all the digital dials. And it has got little screens, and then it's also got a very analog basic setup, which I do really like. It's very simple, very plain, very easy to read, whereas I know on some other cars you can get a full digital display and it can become quite confusing. The other thing I want to look at is all this piano black gloss trim, which I think really sets the interior off. We've got a lovely large screen here which has got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, DAB radio, Bluetooth, sat nav. It's very well equipped. It's also got heated seats, it's got dual climate control, and the other thing, because it's a hybrid, which I really do like, is it's got on the gearbox it's the simple park, neutral, drive and then reverse, but it's also got a B mode, which is your it's a brake that as you're driving you don't actually use the brake pedal. It generates the electric to charge the battery as you're driving along, so you don't actually need to use the brake pedal unless you come into a really quick stop. It actually slows the car down for you by using the brake to generate the electricity to charge that battery, like I said. It's very clever little car. It's got heated seats on both sides, it's got a lot of storage, it's got automatic lights, high beam assist, automatic wipers. It's got everything that you really do need, and for quite a little car, I like it. I really do like it. So one of the advantages of this car being a full hybrid is the fact that it has EV mode. Now EV mode provides you with zero fuel consumption and zero exhaust emissions, as long as you're driving short distances at a low speed. As I said earlier, it's a great benefit, especially for someone that's disabled, because then that will allow you to travel further on the petrol that you've got. So like I said, this is a hybrid. Toyota's full hybrid, which is what this is engineered to run on power from the petrol engine and the electric motor, like I said, but they can also run on electric power alone. That's what makes it different with being a full hybrid to other mild hybrids. They're engineered so that they will run as often as possible on electric, so that you can save fuel, like I said, and on exhaust emissions, and all those emission levels are reduced. You can see when the car's running on electricity, as it's got a green EV mode lights up on the instrument display. Okay, so I also want to cover the fact that the steering wheel is loaded with different buttons. So we've got buttons to turn your volume up and down, we've got buttons to answer your phone, and we've also got buttons then to toggle between all of the different displays that will show you like your fuel stats, your you know, how far your average speed is, and all of these kind of things. It's really, really clever. One of the advantages and one of the things that I definitely love about this Corolla, with someone like me, as short as I am, I struggle with parking and things. Now this has got reverse and parking assist, but the best bit is when you put it into reverse, we then have got reversing cameras, which for me is always a bonus. Right, so we've covered the inside, we've covered the transfer, we've covered the outside, so you can see what it looks like. Now we're going to cover the actual driving part, which is my favourite part, and we're going to head to the Brecon Beacons. Right, so we've just started. Now this, you'll see, is the hybrid mode where it's full electric, and as you can see we're still going, and it's silent. I'll open my window so you can hear it, and as you can see there's literally nothing. You can just hear the electric motor, and that's it. I absolutely love this car. I think I'm in love with it. So we're driving along, and I've got to be honest, the first thing I want to cover is the fact of how comfy it is. It's absolutely brilliant. Everything is, the steering is light, it's just so smooth. The gear change you don't feel, it's just amazing. And the other thing I want to cover is this is the first car that I've driven without having to have some sort of support behind my back like a cushion. I'm actually driving with no support at all, which is I've never done before, because normally, because I'm so short, I can't actually reach the pedals sometimes, but this is just like driving normally, like with a cushion. So that is already won me over with that, and I would have one of these over any other car any day. It's just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So I want to talk about the performance a little bit, because I'm really surprised, considering it's a little family hatchback, it corners unbelievably well. And if you need a little bit of power to overtake someone, for example, like I've had to overtake a couple of cyclists today, the power is there, and it just amazes me. Like I said, normally a car like this is quite sluggish, quite boaty feel in corners, and this is just absolutely brilliant. So we arrived at the Brecon Beacons, and the drive was absolutely fantastic. Much better than I thought, if I'm completely honest. It was so comfortable, like I said. The handling was great. The fuel economy has just blown my mind, because it's literally hard to use anything at all. And we've travelled about 20 miles, which is great. And it's moved like a tiny little bit. As I said, the drive overall was just fantastic. So yeah, that's us at the Brecon Beacons. now it's time for our ratings, which is my favourite part. The first one I want to cover is comfort. I'm going to score that a 5. If I could score it more, I would, because like I've said all along, it's unbelievably comfortable. Practicality, I'm going to score that a 4, because like you've seen earlier on, my chair does fit in the boot. You know, you can keep your parcel shelf in it, which is something that I like to do. But obviously you haven't got a lot of room for shopping, that's why it isn't a 5. Accessibility, we're going to score that a 4, because like again, you've seen earlier, it was pretty simple for me to get in. I did struggle a little bit, but not as bad as I have in the past. And then performance, we're going to score that a 4, simply because, like I said, along the way, you know, it's a pretty nippy little car. It's not sluggish. It does what you need it to do. You know, it's not a sports car, but it really is just a fantastic car. So, thanks for watching. This is the end of the video. I enjoyed that little road trip, even though we had all these restrictions with coronavirus and things. Hopefully by the time we do the next one we can go a little bit further. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon if you like this video, and if you want to see future videos, like I said, click that button, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Ta-da.